What's up, guys, and welcome to the Only 67's podcast. Hope you're having a great Thanksgiving weekend. I know I had a great time spending with friends and family and loved ones. Hope you all did too. So today's podcast is going to be a little different. It's just going to be me by myself, and I'm going to be talking about the Ottine Swamp Thing. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so like I said, this is going to be a little different of a podcast. I'm not going to have my face since I'm reading a script, and frankly, the flashbang that you would be seeing on my face would be disgusting. Also, y'all might have noticed I got a new mic, which I'm very happy about. I think it sounds really good. So yeah, let's just dive into this Ottine Swamp Thing. What exactly is it? So first off, we got to get the lay of the land. Where does this thing come from? So y'all might have heard of Come and Take It, which was declared in Gonzales, Texas on October 2nd, 1835, which started the Texas Revolution. However, this area in Gonzales County might also be home to a creature that's called the Ottine Swamp Thing, which bears a striking similarity to Bigfoot. So the Ottine Swamp Thing is a Bigfoot-like creature which can be found in the Ottine Swamp, which is in the Palmetto State Park, which is also located in Gonzales County. Yeah, I know, a lot of inns. It's a really relatively specific area in this Palmetto State Park that it is. So according to some witness accounts, the Ottine Swamp Monster, or Swamp Thing, interchangeable, ranges between 4 to 8 feet tall, covered in fur that can be colored between black, brown, or gray. Some locals claim that there are even a group of Swamp Things and have even heard their calls. Ottine Swamp is reminiscent of the Everglades in Florida with its bogs and thick woods. And I have been to Palmetto quite a number of years ago, and I can attest there are a lot of... It's pretty murky looking. If you've ever watched The Predator, I can't remember what scene, but some of The Predator was actually filmed in Palmetto State Park. It had a lot of ferns and looked misty, so that's probably where it is. Like, again, I can't remember the exact part, excuse me, but it is in The Predator. So an area of 198 acres is contained within the Palmetto State Park, but the total area of the Ottine Swampland is about 10,000 acres, which stretches between the San Marcos River from Luling to Gonzales. Okay, so next up I'm going to be recounting some eyewitness accounts that reportedly saw the creature. One of the most famous accounts is from 1980 and was documented by William Sayers, sorry if I pronounce his name wrong, in his book Ghost Stories of Texas, published in 1981. This is a picture of it, by the way. Berthold Jackson was a resident of Gonzales and has spent years hunting the creature. Jackson is well known by the inhabitants of the swamp and was described as an experienced woodsman. Jackson stated that he had several run-ins with the creature and even heard its calls at night. And he quotes, "I've heard it, nights. I've heard just about every animal's cry. This one is somewhere between human and animal, like nothing you've ever heard in your life." He would sometimes try and catch a glimpse of the creature whenever he heard its calls, but in the dead of the night, the creature evaded his sight. While he never truly saw it, he claimed that the size of the beast was well over 100 pounds. He often mused that the creature could be an ape-like being, which corresponded to other sightings. Jackson also shared another encounter with the creature from locals Brewster Short and Wayne Hodges, occurring in the early 1970s. The pair were running dogs in the swamp at night, hunting raccoons. Suddenly, one dog caught a scent and bolted after it. They followed the dog for 2 miles, ending up at Lookout Hill, which is near Palmetto State Park. Wayne was in the back of their car holding his dog, while Brewster was calling in the others. Out of nowhere, Wayne's dog started yelping and howling. At the back of the car, something reared up. Wayne caught a glimpse of a large gray mass before the pair fled, leaving behind 2 of their dogs in the swamp. Lookout Hill could be considered a hotspot for the Ottine Swamp Thing sightings. People hear blood-curdling screams from just beyond the bush line, or having their cars shaken and even being hit by something strong. A small number of people claim to have caught a glimpse of a hairy creature at the edge of the woods. In even rarer cases, people state that the creature approached their vehicles and looked inside. Next is a case in a more modern time that allegedly occurred in June 2014. The following report is from a couple that recounts an encounter with the Ottine Swamp Thing. Occurrence date, June 2014. Location, Gonzales County, Texas. Nearby vicinity, Ottine. Time, conditions, it was humid, muggy, hot. Around 1 p.m. with on and off showers. The witness account. This is from the perspective of a woman and her husband. My husband and I decided to go to Palmetto State Park on our way home from New Braunfels to enjoy a nice hike. We began our hike at the beginning of the San Marcos River Trail. We were the only ones on the trail that day. At the beginning of our hike, my husband noticed that what looked like an extremely large footprint to the left of the trail. We didn't think much of it and kept on our journey. We came to a spot where you can walk down to the river and swim or fish. We both walked down the bank to the river to check out the spot. After taking a small break, we started back up on the bank. I was in front of him when I heard him holler that somebody had thrown a large rock at him. I thought he was trying to scare me, so I didn't pay much attention. When we got to the top of the bank to the trail, he told me that something had thrown a large ball-sized rock at him, hit right behind him in the sand and rolled down the hill. He was visibly upset. We continued on our hike. While on the San Marcos River Trail, we continued to hear noises in the woods, and breaking sticks contributed to the local wildlife. Then we heard a strange howl. It was similar to that of a cow, but different. Now, I know there are cows in the area, but we have heard and saw many times before the hike. But I know what a cow sounds like, and my husband grew up around and currently works in the slaughter business. So we had heard every sound a cow can make. What we heard was not a cow. We heard this howl once while on the San Marcos River Trail, and then again when we cut off into the Mesquite Flat Trail. While on the Mesquite Flats Trail, we continued to be observant of our surroundings, but enjoying our relaxing hike. Somewhere on the trail, not far past one bridge, but before another, we heard a loud crack and falling of a large limb out of a tree right by the end of the first bridge on the trail we had just crossed. We then heard running through the woods. It was not like a person running, but it was also not like a deer. It was a loud thump sound whenever whatever it was hit the ground. My eyes immediately scanned the tree line and focused in on a tall, black something. I could clearly see the thing pass between the trees. It was tall, black, but very fast. It was faster than a person. It was not a deer because I could see a silhouette. It was not long. It was not a hog because it was tall and not like an animal. I was watching it pass through the trees when it disappeared. Just like that. It stopped or something. I was shocked by what I had seen. My husband and I walked back to where the limb had hit the ground to see if we could find anything. Unfortunately, we did not have any binoculars, but off in the distance where the thing disappeared from my sight, it appeared to be some kind of black thing, either crouched or standing completely still beside a tree. We decided it was best that we make our way to the trail and head to the end, but we kept our watch on the black thing we saw by the tree. The trees got thick, and we could not see through for a moment, but when we got to another opening, we attempted to find the black thing by the tree we had just seen, but it was no longer there. We continued our walk with a lot to talk about. Once we crossed onto the Ottine Swamp Trail, we heard the howl again, but close and clearer than before. We completed our hike with no other incidents or noises. It was the strangest thing I could have ever seen in my life. Hand/footprints. The footprints we observed were large. My husband wears a size 9, and it was much larger. Additional observations. There seemed to be a lot of bent, high grass, where something had bedded down, apparently. There also was many large areas of strange stick and limb configuration, like something had stacked sticks to make a shelter, or lay on the ground, off the dirt. Very strange. While I cannot verify that any of these accounts are in fact true, I don't believe that they were made in bad faith. So wrapping up, I want to leave you with this image taken in 2011, which is displayed in the Palmetto State Park headquarters. This image supposedly captures the elusive Ottine Swamp Thing near a tree. I've tried to enhance the image, but the original quality is pretty low, so it makes it difficult to discern for sure. So, the question is, does the Ottine Swamp Thing exist in our reality, or is it a figment of our imagination? Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and share the video. And also, comment down below, do you believe the Ottine Swamp Thing is an actual creature or cryptid, or do you believe it's simply just a bunch of mumbo jumbo? Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.